Yo, what's up everybody, it's Victon. We have a super fun live stream coming today from the devs. I'm doing a live reaction here for you guys. They're going to be covering both PoE 2 and the upcoming Ultimatum League. So I'm probably going to split these into two different videos since this is a pretty long dev stream. So if you're interested in seeing one or the other, definitely check out my channel and the other one will be over there. Yeah, let's go ahead and go straight into the dev stream and I'll give you guys some of my thoughts on what we see. Hopefully we get some juicy news. Let's get going.
You only live once, exile. Make your choice.
Maybe I will. That man had a chaos head. So is this literally the exact same thing as last league? Whoa, dude.
A simple ultimatum. Leave with your life and a meager reward.
Oh, that head is tripping me out, dude. Oh, what is this? So far, this looks exactly the same as Ritual.
But fail and leave with nothing.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Ritual was fine, I guess. What the hell? Look at his health bar. Did you guys see that? There was like things on it, like little tentacles on his health bar.
The reward you deserve.
8 new gems. Reworked Labyrinth. Praise Bejeebus. How about reworked? We just mean you remove it from the game. That would be a nice rework. What the hell? I guess.
Ultimate reward requires ultimate risk. Face the ultimatum.
A boss. Nice. Looked like a big boy boss at the end there. I'm always down for big boy bosses at the end of leagues.
They think of blood sacrifices, or Queen at Zeri, or lost temples in the jungle. But I think of risking your items. From Val Orbs through double corruption, the whole Val or no balls meme, we had to make sure that this expansion is about the concept of risking your items to get great reward. In each area of the Ultimatum League,
there's a little Jimmy gem in there.
An emissary of a Val entity only known as Chaos. On behalf of Chaos, the Trial Master enacts trials where exiles must risk an escalating set of valuable rewards as they attempt to overcome progressively more difficult encounters. In each trial, you'll be presented with a reward, an objective, and a selection of difficulty modifiers that make the trial harder. Once you've chosen one of the modifiers, you must then complete that objective under the constraints of that modifier in order to win the promised reward.
Okay. What if you just don't like that reward? You just leave? Just peace out?
If you succeed in the challenge, the Trial Master will present you with an ultimatum. Either walk away with what you have earned so far, or risk it all to try to win additional rewards. He'll offer you another item if you can select an additional difficulty modifier and complete the challenge with both modifiers present. If you fail though, you'll lose both rewards and walk away with nothing.
What a noob.
If you succeed, you'll be offered an additional reward in exchange for adding yet another difficulty modifier
3
that stacks
rewards
on top of the current ones. This cycle continues until the rewards become increasingly valuable and the encounter extremely difficult.
What was that?
You'll have to pick a point to end your run and claim your spoils before you make the encounter too hard and lose everything.
And loot at the end.
Ultimatum and endgame maps can sometimes have up to 10 fast trials in a row, with a special
10
surprise
trials, dude. That's correct.
In maps, you'll occasionally find items.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Ultimatums. These items can be placed in the map device to transport you to the Trial Master's domain. Each inscribed ultimatum specifies an offering that you must bring with you, a reward you can earn, and an assortment of ultimatum difficulty modifiers.
Ah, that's pretty sick.
If you're able to complete the Trial Master will reward you with a specified reward, which is usually worth around twice the value of the item you must bring. For example, you may be asked to risk an Exalted Orb to win a stack of 2, or potentially risk a stack of 5 to win a stack of 10. Naturally, inscribed ultimatums can be traded with other players, so if you don't feel capable of completing a difficult challenge,
sacrifice the nurse times 4, dude.
Price between the reward and the item that must be risked. Likewise, if you
If
have
those
a
can be
powerful character, you may be able to selectively trade for profitable ultimatums to run.
Yeah, okay.
There are also
That's
new
sick.
unique items that can only be obtained from Ultimatum. One such unique is the Glimpse of Chaos Val Mask, which provides powerful benefits to your maximum life, mana, and energy shield at the cost of having severely reduced elemental resistances and no chaos resistance. The
Yikes.
item can be corrupted multiple times and has unique corruption outcomes, such as removing a random modifier or transforming it into a different random corrupted unique helmet entirely that retains its corruption implicit mod.
What the hell? Okay.
Another new Val unique item in Ultimatum is
Cool looking
Mahuzotl's
shield.
Machination, which grants you 6
Oh,
keystone passives at once. Combining
Are they
all
random?
these keystones results in some very unusual outcomes, and the item features an entirely new unique keystone as well.
Yo, if those are random
We've worked hard to
6,
make
that
sure
would be
Ultimatum doesn't
insane.
punish you for being in a party with other players. Party members compete in trials together, but have separate rewards available to them that will need to be locked in to
Yes,
begin the
thank
trial.
you.
Each player votes on which difficulty modifiers to select. If there's a draw in votes, the modifier will be chosen at random.
Okay.
If one player wants to take their reward and opt out of the next difficult trial, they're able to do so without stopping the other party members from continuing. Rewards are dropped allocated to the players who earned them.
Okay, very good, because that's been an issue with last leagues.
I can tell you, on release day, a lot of our developers are looking forward to watching Twitch so we can see players risking far too much in order to try to get good rewards. Speaking of rewards, there's a lot to talk about here. We had a look at Path of Exile's past reward systems, and we honestly feel many of them are out of date, many of them kind of lack identity.
True.
And to top it all off, like the core drop pool of just items that drop when you kill regular monsters just wasn't really compelling enough. Like, you know that feeling where any monster could drop a mirror? We want that for a whole slew of different items. And so we've made a lot of changes to Path of Exile's reward systems.
I guess, we'll
There's
see.
a bunch of ones to the core drop pool to keep it really interesting. There's ones to basically every piece of League and expansion specific content. And we're going to go through all of those for quite a while now.
Okay.
And I should mention that every change we're about to discuss not only affects the Ultimatum League, but also Standard League too.
Okay. See?
We started by reviewing which items can drop from monsters and chests in the core game. To make sure the core drop pool remains compelling, we've made various changes. You can now find 2 additional currency items as core drops, Orbs of Binding
Okay,
from the
good.
Harbinger League,
Hell yeah.
and the new Veiled Chaos Orb, which we'll reveal in more detail soon.
Shit,
We've
that
also
looks
added
sick.
5 new Atlas base types, like this Energy Shield Recharge Amulet. These drop in specific regions of the Atlas of Worlds and have some powerful new implicit mods.
Okay.
Another topic related
Cool,
to the core
sure,
drop
why
pool
not?
is that of boss runs. Veteran community members will remember when people used to do Val Oversoul
Hell
or
yeah.
Ominous runs over and over because they were a profitable
Piety
use of time.
runs.
Final act bosses now drop more and better items, giving you a much more satisfying close to a difficult act and a more item-focused approach to getting ready for maps if you prefer.
And I guess I just can't see that actually
We've
being
also
a
added a
thing.
bunch of very powerful and valuable League-specific uniques into the core drop pool. This means that they can drop from any sufficiently high-level monster without you having
Headhunter?
to engage with specialized
I
content.
doubt it. No way.
Examples of these are Badge of the
Badge.
Brotherhood, Asylum, Pledge of Hands, Maloney's Mechanism, Brutus's Lead Sprinkler,
No,
and
Asylum.
The goal of all of these changes
That
is
hurts
to
my
make sure
strat.
that every monster
Wait.
you kill in Path of Exile has a
What?
chance to drop something incredibly valuable,
What?
regardless of what content you're playing.
Headhunter. I see it.
On top of all of that, we have added a
Fishing
handful of
rod.
new vendor recipes, which let you make some pretty cool stuff. We really miss the days when players were scrambling to try to find unknown recipes, and so we're looking forward to seeing how long it takes for you to discover how these ones work.
Oh my god, that was
We've
troll.
also introduced a new type of reliquary key into the core drop pool for this expansion. If you're very lucky, you can find a Val reliquary key from any monster or chest in Path of Exile.
Oh,
When
brother.
consumed in the map device, it gives you access to a vault with a chest that drops a special foil version of a Val-themed unique item.
Yeah, dude. I
Each unique has
loved
an equal
Reliquary
chance of
League.
dropping. Due to the value and power level of the items contained within, this is the rarest reliquary key ever added to Path of Exile.
Yo,
The rest
okay,
of our
I'm
reward
down with
changes
that,
relate
dude.
to items that you can earn by playing past content like prior leagues and expansions. We have 2 goals here. The first is to add and improve items so that all past content is a compelling set of rewards. The second goal is to make it so that the best way to get any reward is to play the content that is primarily associated with that type of reward. Path
okay.
of Exile's first expansion, Sacrifice of the Val, introduced a new ultimate
interesting.
boss, Adzeri, Queen of the Val.
Hell, look at this
This
guy's
fight
health.
holds up pretty well these days, considering that it is 7 years old, but its rewards really needed a refresh.
Yeah, they do.
The
They're
Sacrificial
terrible.
Guard base type that drops from Adzeri has been significantly improved with the addition of an implicit mod that grants +1 to the level of all Val gems you have equipped.
Cool.
We have also added 2 new unique items to Adzeri's drop pool and 2
Oh
more
shit,
to
that's
Uber
cool.
Adzeri's.
Oh
One
shit,
of
dude.
which is the Adzeri's Rule Judgment Staff, which prevents you from being stunned or having your damage reflected. It grants a skill that alternates between Flames of Judgment and Storm of Judgment when used, as if you absorb the powers of Atziri herself.
Nice.
Skipping forward to
It's good.
2016,
Boss killing used to be terrible. Maybe they're fixing it.
To how you receive your labyrinth enchantments. Previously, when you completed the labyrinth and went to enchant an item, you couldn't see what random result you'd get. Now, the result for each type of enchantment is shown to you in advance, so you can make the right choice.
Huh?
In the Eternal Labyrinth, you're now offered 3 different helmet enchantments to pick between, in addition to the boots and gloves.
Yes.
This will make it a lot easier to find enchantments relevant to the skills you're using.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely good. Sure.
In 3.14, we're going to
kind of a weird
giving
change.
out unique jewels for each day's fastest labyrinth runs, and we have added these jewels as very rare drops that you might find in the labyrinth's final reward chests.
Kind of cool.
Another highly requested labyrinth-related improvement is that you can now consume an offering to the goddess and the map device to open portals directly to a random trial.
Dude.
This greatly accelerates the speed at which you can find your final trials.
Wait.
We have also added 2 new labyrinth-specific unique items,
I might have
including the
missed something
Scales
there.
of Justice unique shield, which rewards building your character with a careful balance of life and mana. If used correctly, you'll be granted protection from shock and ignite, as well as additional fire damage.
Level
Kadira
49.
Parandus now has a much larger selection of unique item rewards. We have also rebalanced all sources of Parandus coins so that Parandus content is still the best place to get them from. A craft introduced in Harvest kinda destroyed the Parandus coin economy, so we're absolutely fixing that at the same time. Essences have been numerically rebalanced and are in general stronger than they were before. Screaming Essences can now be used to reroll rare items, in addition to their capability to upgrade items to rare. The 4 Corrupted Essences have had some of their less useful outcomes improved or replaced.
Okay.
Now, the only way to get the powerful upgrade-only top-tier Essences is through Remnants of Corruption, which come from Essence content.
Okay, that's good.
Blessings, the currency used
Those
to
were kinda
upgrade
useless
breach
before.
uniques, can now be used to upgrade breach stones between tiers also.
Oh, shit. What the hell? Up
Abyss
to a
jewels
pure?
have been rebalanced and
What?
are on average more powerful than they were before. We have also buffed Abyss chests to make sure that they are the best place to get Abyss jewels. We have also introduced Abyss Scarabs and have added 4 new Abyss-specific unique jewels, such as Tekrod's Gaze, a murderous eye jewel that increases your main hand critical strike chance and your offhand critical strike multiplier based on how many murderous eye jewels you have equipped. Another example is the Ulaman's
cool.
Gaze Searching Eye Jewel, which counts how many Searching Eye Jewels you have equipped and grants your projectiles a chance to be able to chain when colliding with terrain, proportional to this number.
Insane
These unique
for,
jewels have a chance to drop from any of the unique encounters at the end of
what are
the
those
Abyss of
builds?
Depths, and these encounters are now by far the most reliable way to obtain a Stygian Vice belt.
Like the
We have added a
crossbow
handful of
builds?
new
Holy
beast
moly,
crafts,
like the
such
turret
as
crossbow
add a mod
thing?
to a
That would be
map, or
insane for
add a
that
mod
kind of
to an
build.
influenced item, which consume
Because
existing
you have a lot of
beasts.
those.
There are some other aspects of beast crafting that we've been keeping our eye on for a while, and we're taking this opportunity to rework them, so that high-level gameplay is less reliant on obtaining certain beast crafts. Now, when you use a splitting beastcraft recipe on an item, both copies are marked as split, which prevents them from being split again. You
Oh,
cannot
shit.
implement split items.
Oh, shit.
One of my favorite reward changes in this expansion is that Incursion's Temple of Atsuato can now be itemized.
Rip
Once you have access to
crafting,
the map
dude.
device, Alva can turn your completed and ready-to-run temple into a tradable object that can be consumed in the map device.
That's very
This
good.
means
That's
that players
sick.
can specialize in either making temples to trade to other players,
Yeah, that's
or trading
sick.
for temples that are ready for them to run. There
I
have also been a lot
absolutely
of
hated
changes
doing
to
that
the
myself.
temple. As you may know, specific rooms in the Temple of Atsuato can drop unique incursion items that can be later upgraded. Many of these base unique items have been improved in this update. Previously, the temple's boss, the Omnitect, dropped random rare items with special incursion mods on them.
Don't die.
Now it also drops rare items with incursion mods based around the themes of the rooms your temple contains.
Ooh.
Higher tier rooms cause more
What's
rare
his health
items.
doing? You guys see that?
Specific rooms now add
Look at his
specific
health.
monster packs
It's
to the
like
temple,
there's
which
like a
results in more
line above
monster
it.
density,
The hell is
challenge,
going
and
on there?
reward. Temple mods have been buffed, so
Like, look at
the
that right
temple
now.
has more high tier rooms than is equivalent to a good
That's
map.
weird. Wonder if it's like
We have performed a
overleach?
modernization pass on rewards from temple rooms so that they're competitive with rewards from newer leagues. The explosive room also contains some basic chests that can be opened with flash powder kegs if you don't need them for opening a path elsewhere in the temple. Delve has had a big increase to early rewards and a reduction to the quantity of high-tier rewards spawning at very deep depths. The end result is that Delve is a lot more rewarding for almost everyone, but a few extreme players who delve very deep will not be getting quite so rich from it. The big
Yikes.
problem with rewards and betrayal is that players deem it not worthwhile to kill Katarina because it resets your betrayal syndicate board.
Yep.
In this expansion, we have massively increased the incentive for doing this. Now if you manage to kill Katarina, all Syndicate members drop their rewards at 1 tier higher than they previously would. This change required the introduction of a new 4th tier of reward from each Syndicate member and encourages the use of a larger variety of Syndicate targets and safe house leaders. We have improved rewards that were not as interesting or valuable as the best ones. For cases where we deem
new skill,
powerful, we moved
on his
them to
right
tier
click.
4 rather than nerfing them. The tier 4 rewards are approximately twice as powerful as tier 3 ones were. We have also added a new unique item to Katarina's drop pool as further incentive for killing her. The Cane of Kulamak drops only from Katarina. Similar to Paradoxica, it has 3 veiled modifiers that must be unveiled one at a time via Jun. This means that each version of the cane could be entirely different, and because of the way the veiled modifier system works, you have the chance to get 3 mods that potentially synergize extremely well, or maybe just a crazy bag of mods that don't work together. Furthermore, the cane itself scales up the magnitudes of any unveiled modifiers on it. We have made some changes to how unveiling mods works. You still get offered a choice of 3 mods, but these are now more powerful versions of the existing ones. The powerful ones are unveiled onto items, and the normal versions are the ones you unlock that can be crafted onto items. Also, progress towards unlocking crafting of veiled mods is at a slightly faster rate than before.
Good.
Some very powerful veiled modifiers are now only available at their original strength on the unveiled version of the modifier, and the crafted version of the modifier has been lowered in power.
Like, look there at his health. What was happening there?
Earlier in the presentation,
like tentacles on his health.
Veiled Chaos Orb is an item that has been added to Path of Exile's core drop pool. This new currency
including a
item
veiled
the
modifier
mods, like a regular Chaos Orb does, but one mod is guaranteed to be a veiled.
The hell?
While it can drop from any monster or chest in the game, by far the most effective way of getting it is from Isling and some Betrayal safe houses.
Interesting.
We have introduced 3 new types of incubators
bad,
for Blight, Metamorph, and Delaria,
I guess.
and have modernized the rewards from the other incubators.
It's cool.
The item yield from chests and blighted maps is now affected by a portion of the map item's quantity, giving you a reason to roll your blighted maps if you can handle the additional challenge.
Very good, very good.
Anointments to blighted maps have been rebalanced and reworked so that each has its own purpose and with a consistent increase in reward as the oils get rarer. This is basically entirely buffs, because one big nerf we needed to do was already done last league. You can now corrupt blighted maps. These can very rarely drop the new tainted oil, which allows you to apply anointments to corrupted items.
Oh. Yeah.
We have also introduced blighted scarabs.
That's sick.
We have added 2 new types of catalysts themed around speed and critical strikes, respectively. These new catalysts are rarer than previous ones.
Okay, sure.
As discussed in the recent development manifesto, the current
3.14
version of Harvest is too rewarding, so we're rebalancing its crafting and also increasing how often you'll encounter portals to the Sacred Grove. The current version spams you with way too many crafts, so each seed has a chance to grant a craft now, reducing the overall number of crafts you can perform per garden, though you will encounter the grove 60% more than you did before. Some of the most powerful crafting options have been removed or changed. The Heart of the Grove encounter is now a map fragment that can randomly drop from tier 4 harvest bosses instead of rarely replacing the entire grove when it spawns.
Good.
With the release of Ultimatum, Ritual will be added to the core game, with a chance to occur in each map you play. It is
I skipped over those harvest changes pretty quick.
And is available as a Sextant mod.
We just casually removed some harvest
we later roll it into the
grass.
core game
Moving on.
to spawn in maps, usually 10%, sometimes 5%. When Ritual is added to the core game, we are standardizing this rate at 8%, which means a small decrease for some leagues and an increase for Harvest. We have rebalanced other things to compensate, like the rate at which Heist Rogues level up. Most Atlas passive trees have the same increase in chance for bonus content, meaning they now offer more than double the chance of encountering your preferred content.
It's cool.
So I just spent a ton of time describing lots of buffs to Path of Exile's different reward systems, and there was one nerf that I
New skill?
And this gives us a nerf to a league that I kind of
2
care
new
about.
skills.
Talisman was one that I kind of led the design on, and players joke that it's my favorite league. Now, in the 3.12.3 content update, there was a change to talismans. Basically, they weren't good enough, so the team decided to add a random anointment to them, which made them a lot more powerful, and also juice up the mods
still terrible.
Well-rolled.
That was good.
Overkill. Like, as you've seen recently,
Overkill, dude.
have just been dropping with insane mods and great anointments. And we felt in this expansion, especially
no
because
one
you
used
can
that.
use tainted oils in order to redo the anointments on talismans, because now you can modify corrupted amulets. Honestly, they don't need the well-rolled mods anymore.
Oh my god, dude.
Talismans are still compelling, but they're not quite where they were in the last league.
Yikes.
Every
Okay.
Path of Exile expansion
Dead
has
talismans
new ways
again.
for players to slaughter their enemies. In Path of Exile Ultimatum, this takes the form of 4 new skill
Why would they
gems
do
and 4
that?
support
That was
gems.
stupid.
In line with Ultimatum's Val theme, these gems focus on blood, the idea of spending life rather than mana to use your skills. Alongside the new skill and support gems, we've also made some adjustments to the low life mechanic, including changing the low life threshold to 50%. This makes it much easier and safer to stay on low life for builds where it matters.
Interesting.
Typically, when players create low life builds, they rely on Energy Shield to protect themselves against incoming damage. The new skill Petrified Blood enables low life builds to instead use some of their life pool to absorb hits. While it's active, you can't recover life above 50% through any method other than flasks. Sources of life recovery like life regeneration and life leech only apply to the bottom half of your life pool.
Gotcha.
Additionally, a portion of incoming hit damage that affects the lower half of your life pool is spread out over time rather than being applied instantly.
Interesting. That could be cool.
Corrupting Fever consumes a chunk of your life and grants you a buff that causes all your hits to apply Corrupted Blood to your enemies. Corrupted Blood stacks up with each hit, causing more and more physical damage over time. When you have consumed a certain amount of life to cast skills from your life pool, the buff's duration refreshes.
I already thought of an insane build for that.
As long as you're consuming life to use skills, you'll be causing damage over time to stack on enemies. Be careful though.
Shrapnel Ballista.
The Exsanguinate skill shoots tendrils of
Unless it
blood
doesn't affect
at the cost of
totems.
life rather than mana. In addition to a strong physical damage hit, it also applies a physical damage
cool.
over time debuff, which can stack up to 3 times. You can also support Exsanguinate so that its tendrils chain from one target to the next.
Yeah.
Reap conjures a giant bloody scythe that swings across a selected area, applying strong hit damage
Literally
and physical
sweep.
damage over time.
What?
Each use of the skill causes it to gain a charge that scales its damage up and increases its life cost up to 5 times. These charges drop off over time as well as after killing enemies, making Reap very powerful at stacking up damage against single targets. We've also added 2 new support gems that have split the existing blood magic support into 2 separate support gems. The first of these is the Arrogance support, which causes supported skills to reserve life instead of mana, and also provides an increase to the effect of auras in the supports.
Okay.
Just like the original blood magic
Interesting.
support gem, the reservation multiplier diminishes as the gem levels up. The Life Tap support gem causes supported skills to cost life instead of mana. Once you've consumed a certain amount of life to use a skill, you gain Life Tap, which increases your damage for a few seconds. The Cruelty
looks
support
scary.
gem
You're
grants
like
a
no
buff called
HP.
Cruelty, which increases the damage over time you deal with supported skills. It also boosts the hit damage from supported skills, and the Cruelty buff gets stronger the harder you hit. This gem is designed as an additional option for builds that focus on both hits and damage over time.
Cool.
The Bloodthirst support gem is a new option for low life attackers. This gem adds a percentage of your life as physical weapon damage while you're on low life, letting low life attack based builds really scale their damage, which wasn't an option before.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Alongside a
Dig that.
Val-themed expansion and blood-themed gems, it felt right to take the opportunity to
Oh.
improve Val skills, which are supercharged versions of regular gems that charge up with the souls of your slain enemies to deal huge bursts of damage. One of the main improvements is that you now get far more souls for Val skills from damaging unique enemies, so your Val skills will recharge faster against bosses. We've also improved the Atzeri's Reign unique jewel. Alongside increasing the duration of your Val skills, it also grants a chance to regain all consumed souls. Val skills have also received a balance pass that you can check out in the full Path of Exile Ultimatum patch notes in a few days.
Spectral
So
throw,
we've
dude.
covered most of the key components that make up Path of Exile Ultimatum. Keep an eye on the news over the next week as we reveal the finer details of what's coming.
Will
We'll
do.
move on to the Q&A shortly to answer your burning questions, but first let's have a quick look at the new supporter packs that are available right now to celebrate the launch of Ultimatum and help fund ongoing development of Path of Exile.
So we
The
can give you
Silver
all of our
Crescent and
money.
Imperial Sun supporter packs come with masses of
That
points
looks
to
lame.
spend in the store.
That looks
social
cool.
frames, forum titles and badges, a download of the digital soundtrack,
That looks
and of
lame.
course,
Looks like a
exclusive
Triceratops, dude.
microtransactions such as armor sets, alternate helmets, and weapon skins. The Silver Crescent series has an exclusive portal effect, and the Imperial Sun series has an exclusive aura effect. Each series has 2
Lame.
packs, and the smaller packs
Kinda
can
weird.
be upgraded to their respective large pack anytime while they're still on sale.
Yeah,
These are, of
that
course,
sword.
in addition to the new core packs that were released at the end of last year. Remember to check those out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your support. Purchases of these supporter packs are the only thing that fund ongoing development of Path of Exile, its sequel Path of Exile 2, and expansions like Ultimatum. The reveals we showed you today are already live on YouTube for you to link to your friends in case they missed the live stream.
Very nice.
Please do so. We're keen to get a big turnout on the release of Ultimatum next week.
Bet you are.
And we've got plenty more reveals planned for the rest of the year. There's a lot more Path of Exile 2 stuff to show off, and we've also got some new progress on Path of Exile Mobile we're keen to share with you as well.
Lamau, dude.
Anyway, if you have any questions from what we've shown you today,
Path of
please get them
Exile
ready
Mobile,
because
dude.
I'm about to be joined by Ziggy D as we do a Q&A based on your questions from Twitch chat.
Twitch chat. Clap, 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 clap. All right. Dudes, that was a lot of stuff to take in. A lot of cool stuff. Looks like melee builds are going to be pretty hype. The low life stuff with melee looks definitely sick. I could definitely tell you that this is going to be another summoner league for sure. I mean, they've got to nerf summoners so hard to make them not viable, but just the fact that, you know, you stand in place with the, you know, selecting your rewards and all that stuff, and then there's just a circle around you. Literally just stand in place and let your, for example, golems kill everything. So definitely another strong league for summoners, but also, you know, definitely cool melee stuff coming too. A lot of new abilities. We got some PoE 2 juiciness. Look, that was looking very nice. Super hyped for that. Just very nervous that it's gonna, I mean, not nervous, but concerned that it's gonna take years to come out and just be a little disappointing. Not the game itself disappointing, just the fact that it takes so long, because we're all hyped and we want it now. I did like the fact that they passed over the harvest changes so quick. We've removed some powerful harvest crafts and moving on. It's like, okay, dude. Alright, well, let's just move right on over that. I don't think they've said anything about the harvest crafts ever since everybody rage moded at them. Not a single thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't heard a single thing. I was expecting something to be said in this thing, but nope. I think they're doubling down. They're doubling down, but at the same time, I mean, there's a lot of cool other stuff coming out. It looks like all the whole, you know, switching the rewards up, essence crafting being maybe a little bit better. Maybe there's some other options out there that balance it out, the fact that we're losing some harvest buff, so who knows. Could be cool. But yeah, that was a super long video, guys. If you guys stuck around for that whole thing, I definitely appreciate you guys. We will be most certainly starting to build up some content for PoE. Like he said in the beginning, PoE is coming out next week, next Friday. So, what, a week and a day or something from now? So lots of content coming. I'm going to be coming out with a whole bunch of league starter builds. I'm going to be coming out with kind of my game plan for the league. If anybody wants to kind of follow my game plan, see if it works for you guys as well. And streaming on Twitch for sure, like I do every beginning of the league. We're going to stream quite a bit the first week or so. We're going to go non-stop, and we're going to go hard. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will catch you guys in the next one.